Oh, no, hold on. Morning, everyone. I hope you are well. Today's learning is dedicated in memory of Aryeh ben Boaz Wolfson, as well as Leah Bas 5-year-old, Siva Bas Mordechai, Abram ben David Slavin, Shlomo ben Yisrael Morris, Eliezer ben Shmuel Teret, Eliezer Shalom ben Avon Shmuel Beres, Tzipora Fegela Bas Reuven Baruch, Shalom ben Elieli, Ben Bas Bible, from Shoshana Bas Yaakov Shmuel, Yirmiyahu Yechiel ben Achavim Moshe Eliezer, and Sarah Malka Bas Binyamin, wish their respective families long life. So, just a few days left of learning together before Yom Kippur. So these are all really relevant. That's why we chose this book for us in the lead up to the High Holy Days. So the next attribute that we are looking at is attribute number 8. Number 8 discusses about the idea of suppressing our sins. In other words, let me read it to you. When a person has benefited from someone and then been harmed, he should forgive the bad that was done. Even if he has the right to sue the person in a court of law for the harm, he should not let his anger over the event sit in his heart. Instead, he should let the favors that a person has done for him in the past stand in the forefront of his mind and focus on the sense of appreciation he should feel for him. So, obviously, what we are not saying is denying the fact that there may be ill feeling or that you've been wronged. And we're not saying that you shouldn't go to a court of law. But the question is, in the long term, whether you should still have those feelings of resentment towards the other person. And what we are saying here is that we, on balance, should look at the person in their totality. And therefore, we shouldn't harbor this resentment towards the other person, right? And therefore, we should focus on the good that they have done, right? So the truth is that we are told in Ethics of the Fathers, and we did mention this before, that we are meant to judge a person, right? Hevidanis kola adam lekafsos, meant to judge the whole person in favor, right? In other words, we're meant to look at the totality of the person when judging them, okay? And we are making judgments and profiling people every single second of our lives, right? As soon as we see somebody, we're weighing up, do we want to spend time with them? Do we want to share with them? Do we not want to share with them? What do we think of them? Right? So all these things, we should keep the right perspective, and therefore it's not enough for us just to look at the most common or current interaction that we've had with them, which may be negative, but to have a look at the total picture of the person, and therefore we're going to be able to suppress the same way the Almighty suppresses. He doesn't hold it against us, right? When the fact that we've done any hate, we all expect when it comes to Yom Kippur that we're going to be and turn over a new leaf, new beginning, wipe the slate clean, right? The miracle of teshuvah, of turning the clock back, right? But if we expect that of God, we've got to also be prepared to do it for other people, because it makes clear that the way that we treat other people is the way that God will choose to treat us. So if we are able to treat people favorably and look at their good and judge them favorably, then God will also do likewise with us. Okay. So also we should bear in mind that we have to look at the big picture, right? One of the worst things that we could possibly do is to harbor any resentment, and then that person passes on to the next world. We are here for so short amount of time, and therefore, is it actually worth it? Whatever the issue is, whatever's happened, is it worth having that resentment? I know people that have had to, and we all know people that have had to go to shivers or write letters, and they're in huge dilemmas whether they should go to the shiver, they shouldn't go to the shiver, based on the fact that there was this lingering ill feeling between two people. And the bottom line is, in the big scheme of things, it's very rare that there's anything. I'm not discussing about where there's abuse or anything like that, but I'm talking about in the normal daily activities and interactions that we have. It's not worth it. Okay. And therefore, whatever anybody's done, we have to take a step back and start over again. Okay. So that is the message of the day. I hope that whoever's coming to Shul, I look forward to seeing you in Shul over Yom Kippur. And even if you're not in Shul over Yom Kippur, we will discuss on Thursday night all the things that we can do and we should do in the lead up to Yom Kippur. So I do hope that you'll join me then. In the meantime, let me just leave you with one final thought, and that is, we know that when it came to the giving of the Torah, what happened straight afterwards, right? We know that there was straight afterwards there was the golden calf, okay? And we know that after that, right, there was a 40-day period when eventually God forgave us, right? God forgave us on Yom Kippur. So the idea is that, there was nothing worse than the betrayal that the Jewish people did to God, right? And yet he came back and we came back to him, and it's a two-way street. So it's in terms of our interactions with other people and in terms of with God. So we have to be prepared. There may be things that we're upset about towards God. We may not be happy with the current situation that we find ourselves in. But you know what? We ask a lot of him and expect a lot from him. And, if we deliver half of what we expect from him on ourselves, then we'll be doing well. So I think it's a right perspective that we have. Now is the time that also we have to try and get our house in order and approach people or phone people that we've offended. Okay. So if you have upset anybody, right, and it's blatant, then you are meant to approach them. Rabbi Yisrael Solanta says that where it is that the person is not aware of what you have, of the offense that you caused, then you should not tell the other person what precisely you did, because doing so may lead to greater resentment, which is not what we want when it comes to the high holy days. So you would ask a more general, I hope, there's obviously a lot of waters passed under the bridge over the last year. Hope you'll forgive me for anything that I have done. And if you mean it sincerely, then that works. But if there is obviously something specific, right, that you're not talking to person X because of Y, then you would need to discuss that specific issue. But if the person is not aware of it, then mentioning it is just going to cause resentment and ill feeling, and that is the opposite of what we're meant to achieve on Yom Kippur, and therefore that doesn't let you off the hook. You would still ask in general terms for forgiveness, but you wouldn't go into the details. Now we continue with Psalm 23, and it goes as follows. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He causes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Even when I walk in the valley of darkness, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You set a table before me in the presence of my adversaries. You anointed my head with oil, my cup overflows. May only goodness and kindness pursue me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord for the length of days. Memorial prayer. Adon Elamim Zacho Es Nishmois Le'bas Bible Tzivi Bas Mordechai Avon Ben David Slavin Shlomo Ben Yisrael Morris Eliezer Ben Shmuel Teret Eliezer Shalom Ben Avon Shmuel Beres Tzipera Fegel Bas Ruben Shalom Ben Elia Lee Beina Bas Bible from Shoshana Bas Yaakov Shmuel Sarah Malka Bas Ben Yomin Yom Yechiel Ben Achava Moshe Eliezer Bavo Bagan Eden Temenucha Som Lachem Balrach Hamim Yasirein Beseisa Kana Pavlionamim V'yitzov Tzachais Nishmatzam Adonai Yonach Lasam V'yanuchu b'shalom mishkavam v'nomar amen. Lastly, before Shlema prayer, we wish everyone long life who is saying Kaddish or has Yortzeit today. Mi sheberach avaseinu Avram Yisrael Yaakov Moshe Aaron David Shlomo Yivach Rabbi Sachilim Bavu Shana Mispalim Bavu Ramas Fazal Kosh Baruch Yim Alei Rachim Aleichem Lachem Alafasam Mishlach Lem before Shlim Nishmaim Lachol Levem Besoch Shachol Yisrael Refuah Sad Nefesh Refuah Saguf Amen. We wish everyone well today. Make the most of the next few days and the lead up to Yom Kippur to get our houses in order and to build a better future for us in terms of our fellow human being and between us and God. It's not all or nothing, but we have to have that mindset as we do by learning that we want to improve, we want to grow, we want to be better people. And if we do that, then I'm sure we will all, please God, be written in the book of health and happiness. Have a great day and see you tomorrow. And then, please God, tomorrow evening. Take care.